Ever wondered how McDonald's makes their famous hamburgers? Let's take you behind the counter and show you the simple process of how these iconic burgers come together. McDonald's began in 1948 with the McDonald brothers, Richard and Maurice, who introduced a revolutionary way of serving fast food. Their focus was speed, affordability, and consistency. They offered a simple menu, and the hamburger became the star. They sold the McDonald to Ray Kroc. Raymond Albert Kroc was an American businessman. Over the years, McDonald's has expanded worldwide, but their classic hamburger remains a favorite. Millions of people enjoy these burgers every day, and today, we'll break down how McDonald's makes them from start to finish. Now, let's dive into the detailed process of making a McDonald's hamburger in a factory. The journey begins with a crucial part of the burger that often goes unnoticed: the sesame seed bun. Now, what makes this bun special? It all starts in massive industrial mixers. We're talking about mixers that can handle hundreds of pounds of ingredients at once. Flour, water, yeast, and salt are the primary ingredients, but McDonald's takes things one step further. They add an enzyme called protease. Why is this enzyme important? Protease helps break down the proteins in the flour, which in turn softens the dough. The result? A perfectly tender bun that has just the right amount of bounce when you press it. The dough's texture is key here, and it all hinges on getting this mixture exactly right. Once the ingredients are combined, the dough is kneaded. But this isn't like kneading bread at home. The kneaders at McDonald's factories are incredibly powerful, capable of handling large batches of dough with precision. This process ensures that the dough develops the perfect elastic consistency. This elasticity is crucial because it gives the buns their structure while ensuring they're soft enough to bite into. After kneading, the dough goes through a transformation process known as fermentation. This is where science really steps in. The dough is transferred to large fermentation rooms, where it rests for a full 4 hours. But this rest period isn't as simple as letting the dough sit idle. During fermentation, the yeast in the dough begins to break down sugars. This process not only helps the dough rise, but it also develops flavor. The dough begins to change at a molecular level. Yeast ferments the natural sugars in the flour, releasing carbon dioxide and creating air bubbles. These bubbles are what give the buns their light and fluffy texture once baked. The room's temperature and humidity are tightly controlled to ensure the process happens just right. Without this precision, the dough could rise too fast or too slow, affecting both flavor and texture. This step is critical because it lays the foundation for the final product. Without proper fermentation, the buns would turn out dense and flat. After fermentation, the dough is far from finished. It heads back to the mixers for another round, but this time, more ingredients are added. Sugar, salt, and additional yeast help give the dough more complexity. Once all the ingredients are blended perfectly, the dough is ready for its next transformation. This happens in a machine known as the dough rounder. As the name suggests, this machine shapes the dough into individual portions, which will eventually become buns. But before these dough balls can head into the oven, they need to go through one more resting period called proofing. Proofing allows the dough to relax and settle, which is essential for ensuring a proper rise during baking. The dough balls rest for about 3 minutes in the intermediate proofer, allowing them to become more pliable and ready for the next step. Now, the dough balls are placed into baking pans. Each pan is carefully loaded with dough balls, and then they're gently shaken in a machine known as the pan shaker. This machine ensures that each dough ball settles perfectly into its pocket, ready for proofing. Next comes the final proofing stage. The dough balls spend about 55 minutes rising in a controlled environment. This is one of the most important steps in the entire process. During this time, the dough rises to its full potential, creating those airy pockets inside the bun that give it such a light and fluffy texture. Now, the buns are ready for the oven. They're baked at a high temperature of 240 degrees Celsius for about 8 to 9 minutes. This precise baking time and temperature ensure that each bun is perfectly golden on the outside and soft on the inside. It's a delicate balance. Bake them too long and the buns become dry. Bake them too little and they won't hold up to the juicy burger patty. After baking, the buns need time to cool down before they can be sliced and packaged. This happens in a spiral cooling system, a towering machine where the buns travel along a spiral conveyor for about 27 minutes. This system is designed to maximize space while ensuring each bun cools evenly. Cooling is crucial because it helps the buns retain their softness and freshness. Once the buns are cool, they're sliced in preparation for packaging. The slicing machine works quickly but precisely, ensuring that each bun is cut in half without damaging its delicate structure. Now let's talk about the burger's centerpiece, the patty. Despite the myths you may have heard, McDonald's burger patties are made from 100% USDA-inspected beef. There are no fillers, extenders, or artificial preservatives. The beef is sourced from a variety of trusted farmers and ranchers across the country. The beef used in McDonald's patties isn't organic or grass-fed, but it is selected for its optimal fat content. McDonald's uses an 80-20 blend, 80% lean beef and 20% fat. This specific ratio ensures that the patties have just the right amount of juiciness and flavor without being too greasy. When the beef arrives at the factory, it undergoes rigorous quality inspections. Within 48 hours, the surface of the meat is checked and temperatures are monitored to guarantee freshness. Only after passing these inspections is the beef ready for grinding. Once the beef is inspected, it's transferred to a grinding machine. Here, the beef is chilled to a precise temperature of around 29 degrees Fahrenheit before being ground. This temperature control is vital because it helps maintain the beef's texture, ensuring that the patties can be shaped properly. After grinding, the beef is mixed to ensure consistency. Then, it's transferred to a stamping machine, where it's formed into patties. Each patty is stamped into a specific size depending on the burger it's intended for, whether it's a hamburger, Big Mac, or Quarter Pounder. McDonald's prides itself on consistency, and that extends to the size and shape of. The final step is assembling the burger with fresh vegetables, special sauces, and toppings. And there you have it, a McDonald's hamburger from the factory to your hands.